first day of the ICC Cricket World Cup warm-ups has seen some very interesting results. Whether you want to read too much into these results, that is up to you. That's a matter of perception. But remember, all the numbers that you have accumulated in the ICC World Cup warm-ups, they never get counted as internationals, nor are the numbers included in an individual person's tally. But if you want to judge the World Cup, how it has begun, officially, if you have to look at it today from September 29th, you can say that some teams may be feeling slightly better off, but some teams may have a lot of issues in their hands. So today, there were three games that were held. One in Guwahati, one in Hyderabad, and the other in Thiruvananthapuram. The Thiruvananthapuram clash between South Africa and Afghanistan was washed off. In Barsapara, Sri Lanka collapsed in a spectacular manner, and that is why they suffered a 7-wicket drubbing at the hands of Bangladesh, with all the likes of Tanzim Hassan, Mehdi Hassan, Liton Das all scoring 50s, and Mahedi Hassan, the pacer, taking 3 wickets. But Pakistan, New Zealand. Now that match has seen something very, very interesting indeed, because Pakistan made 340 plus and New Zealand chased it down with 7 overs to spare. It was truly a remarkable performance. Once again, the Pakistan batting dependent on Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan. Abdullah Shafiq also tried, Agha Salman also tried, but they all just couldn't muster a total in excess of 350. In response, Rachin Ravindra, a surprise pick, although he has opened part-time in the past, but Rachin Ravindra's 97. More importantly, Kane Williamson, 54. And Mark Chapman and Daryl Mitchell's 50s have ensured New Zealand have won by a huge margin. And many of our family members, I don't know where did they get that confidence from, that Pakistan's bowling will be put to the sword today. And that's exactly what happened. New Zealand were just dominant, despite surviving some initial jitters when Daryl Mitchell fell first ball to Hassan Ali. But apart from that, Pakistan's bowling was put to the sword, and yet again, it continues their rather unfortunate run, because remember, ever since they won in Lahore against Bangladesh in the Asia Cup, their bowling has been taken to the cleaners, especially by India in Colombo, also by Sri Lanka in Colombo, and now this particular situation. Pakistan could not defend 345, and that's why New Zealand have won their first warm-up game and have made a good start rather. I mean, psychologically, if you want to look at it, they have gotten some very good brownie points for that matter. After the match though, Kane Williamson spoke and he gave a major update. Like he said, the knee is fine. I'm slowly easing into my workload. There is a bit of icing that I'll have to do, because remember, he's still not fully recovered from that knee injury. He is sad that he's going to miss the first opening game against England, but he's very confident that he will play for the rest of the World Cup. It has been a good workout for him today, because 54 runs, very important runs, and Kane Williamson looked to be in rhythm. But remember, this was the Pakistan bowling. It could have been mercurial one day. Maybe they have not come up with their best. And remember, after this, Pakistan take on Australia as well. So it is not going to be a very easy journey for, you may say, Pakistan at this point in time. Now, Today, if you look at it, it has been a very bad day if you are a Pakistan cricket supporter, because remember, the PCB chairman's very, you may say, surprising statement on calling India a Dushman Mulk did not help matters at all. I mean, if it was a slip of tongue, he could have apologized at that point in time, but he just did not. And he continued to call India in that sense. And remember, this comes despite so many of the Pakistan players giving in their best, and then they really appreciated India's welcome. They really appreciated the way how they came into the country. They were really overwhelmed by that. You saw Pakistan players really putting on a good show, and on social media also they were very supportive and cheerful of the fact that how India welcomed them. Now, in the past couple of days, if you look at it, the PCB have been the main culprits in causing all the friction. I mean, remember, in the Asia Cup, they said, India is scared to face Pakistan. Najam Sethi, the ex-PCB chief, had said at that time. Now, Zaka Ashraf calling India an enemy state, that is really stretching things too far. And we have done a thing in the dugout where I've said that Pakistan is really, I think they live in a delusion, and they just do not understand where they have to cross the line when it comes to making these kind of statements. There is a saying, right? Look before you leap, but they leap and then they don't look. That is the case with Pakistan. Their comments, whatever the PCB says, whatever the politicians say, it's always they shoot off through their mouth. And that's why a classic case of foot in the mouth for Pakistan, the cricket board, major embarrassment. And remember, if questions are asked, it could be very well dodged. So this unfortunate development has soured an already hostile relationship that exists. I mean, why on earth would you want to say that? And that too, he's the PCB chairman. Respecting that position, it was even more necessary for him to ensure that do not make those kind of borderline ridiculous statements. I mean, I am trying to be polite, but I cannot be polite in the case of Pakistan. So the off-field drama has happened in the on-field situation. Pakistan was just hammered today by New Zealand. And okay, there is one comment Gautam Krishna is asking, like, should we be reading too much into a warm-up? I mean, it's a given that Pakistan bowling is how Afridi doesn't fire with the new ball or when he's not in the 11. Look, nothing can be read into a warm-up, okay? But remember, a warm-up can give you a situation of the mental, you can get some mental psychological points, I mean, from it. Yes, they can chase down 350. Okay, there is one particular strength. Maybe without their top bowler, Pakistan will struggle. Without Shaheen, Pakistan will struggle. Now with Naseem not there, they will struggle. So that is one of the learnings that they can take from this entire situation. And I think, see, none of the numbers get counted. None of the results get counted. But a warm-up has its own relevance, Gautam, because at one point you will have to understand that they do play warm-up games to ensure both batting, bowling get a workout, know where the weaknesses are, know where the strengths are, and that's why you play a warm-up game. Yes, you don't read too much into it, but some kind of psychological impact. I mean, it can be a turning point. Suppose if there is a losing streak, supposing you turn your A game in that and then you say, okay, fine, I think I can have the confidence to compete in the World Cup. Why not? Then Dex is saying there is a possibility of both of SA's warm-up games getting washed out. This is unfair on them. Well, that's luck, Dex. It's luck. You either compromise with the weather or just wait, just pray for the weather. You see, already the venues were allocated. That Thiruvananthapuram was going to host the warm-up games. Hyderabad was going to host the warm-up games. All the other venues were going to host the warm-up games. It was given at least 100 days before. So you cannot, it's not an unfair thing on them. I mean, it's a luck of the draw. I mean, even today, Pakistan, New Zealand was interrupted by rain. Where do you get rain in September at this time in Hyderabad? Very rarely. But yes, now it is a retreating monsoon and also you'll have the northeast monsoon coming soon. Chennai, Kerala and all those places, brace yourself for rain interruptions. And maybe October 8th also, you're hanging on a prayer. Because remember, October 8th is India, Australia and Chennai. And remember, the situation in October, especially with the retreating monsoon and with the weather being so fickle, deal with it. That's all I can say. Teams have to deal with the weather situation. You don't know what the weather is going to be like in this part of the world because of climate change and global warming and all those things. So, Vineet Ambat is saying, do you see similar scores tomorrow in India versus England match? Well, if you have to look at the India versus England match, I mean, the game that was held today in Barsapara, Sri Lanka versus Bangladesh, Sri Lanka started well, but then they collapsed. So, it may suggest that if you collapse, it's a true batting deck. India will get a good batting deck, so will England. So, that's why if India want to produce a spinning deck, it could curb England's high scoring inability. So that's why I would say the pitch might be different for the one that was used today between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. Or I think it will be a rather spin friendly deck. They may want to curb England's aggressive stroke play. Remember, if you provide them a flat deck, they will just go hell for leather and maybe a total of 400 can be notched off. So in that sense, a word on Rachin Ravindra. Of course, Rachin Ravindra, Gautam Krishna, superb knock of 97. Very unlucky to have missed a century there. But yes, he's an experimental opener. He can be that shock value. Then I would say that play Rachin Ravindra far more often in the top of the order. He can be that finisher. He can be that aggressor that what Mark Greatbatch was or what Sanat Jayasuriya was in 92 or 96. So try Rachin Ravindra, but I don't think they will go for that combination. I think they will probably stick with whatever is the batting order that they'll play against England on 5th October in Ahmedabad. So let's see about that. If both of SA's games was, will it affect them? No. See, as I said, you don't read too much into a warm-up. Fine, South Africa played 5 games against Australia. That was warm up enough for them. And sure, they will miss out on a chance of playing in Indian conditions, but I think it won't impact them too much. No, I don't think so at this time. Raghavendra P is Kohli losing his touch with Chase. The same blunder in the third ODI as in the Chennai ODI from earlier this year. We'll see. We'll see in the course of this World Cup, because remember, 56, he was looking very good even in Chennai, as you rightly pointed out, Raghavendra. He was superb. Threw his wicket away very surprisingly. So let's wait and watch. I'm not going to pass a judgment on Kohli that soon. Maybe that old chase master still has something left. Bigger occasion, maybe against Pakistan, if he wants to chase, he'll put up his A game. Maybe that's the case. So that's it. Tanzir Hasan was struggling in Asia Cup, was his opening position sealed. Gopal Krishna, too early. I mean, I don't know. See, with Litton, with Tamim Iqbal not there, you would need someone at the top to ensure that he gets the position. And Rachin was batting a prime QDK Warner Dex. I mean, I agree. Fantastic knock from Rachin Ravindra. So, will he be tried out as an opener? Remains to be seen. So, tomorrow, you're going to see India versus England in Barsapara. It's going to be a cracking contest. And again, remember, whoever wins, whoever loses, do not read too much into it, as it is a warm-up. Nothing will be counted. It's just some psychological advantages that you can probably get. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. We'll be back with more updates on Sports Today. Tap that bell icon so that when we go live. And don't forget, we are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Bye-bye.